Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to do a full face of sleek makeup. So to start off, I'm going to start with primer, and this is the Mattifying primer. It's kind of exploded inside it, but it's fine. So I'll just start to apply this all over my face. So usually a mattifying primer is usually clear, but this one is like white and quite creamy, and I actually quite like the texture of it. And it definitely has worked. My skin feels really smooth, and I actually have to say, kind of feels like it's hydrated as well. I just hope it doesn't leave a white cast underneath, because it's quite, usually they're very clear. I'm just trying to blend it out as much as I possibly can. Okay, so for foundation, I'm going to use the Light Proof Foundation, medium to full coverage, sweat proof and oil proof. I don't really understand the foundation shades, but it's LP05 what I got. It's a bit orangey, but I prefer an orangey undertone. Even if it doesn't match my skin right now, I'd be able to wear this during the summer because I tan a lot during the summer. Okay. Okay, this is really runny on my hand. This foundation does not smell good. That's the first thing I'm getting, is that it smells really bad. It's like a paint smell to it. It is really orangey, but as I said, I'll be able to wear this more in summer when I get a tan. The number one thing about if you get a shade like this is that you just need to blend it out really well. I've done it before where I've bought shades a bit too dark for me, but what I always do is just blend it out really well into even corners where you think you don't need to apply it. Because there was one time I bought a shade way too dark, but I just made sure to blend it out everywhere behind my ears, up into my ears, down your neck, and if you have to go down some of the way onto your chest. It is a really runny consistency, but it does smell really bad as well. It smells like paint. I do think that this is clinging to my skin a lot, where it's showing off a lot of the texture on my face. I don't know if you can see that on with the lights, but it definitely is clinging onto the texture, which is something I don't like. So far I'm not liking this foundation, and the only thing really that can save it is the concealer. So the concealer is a Sleek Life Proof Concealer, and it's in 04 Vanilla Chai. So it has like a doe-foot applicator. Hopefully this concealer can help save this, because at the moment I'm really not liking this foundation. I do find this applicator annoying with how small it is, so you don't get a lot on, so you have to keep going back in. I do also find this foundation a bit hard to blend out. Okay, and I just want to show you what the concealer looks like. So that's concealer. There you go. So now to blend out the concealer, I'm going to take, I always use this brush for blending it out, so I'm just going to use this. Again, I think the concealer has a really bad smell to it as well. I do think the concealer shade is more my shade than the foundation. I am finding the concealer a bit hard to blend as well. I may have to go back in with my beauty blender just to make it all blend a bit more evenly. I do think that's looking a bit better. I'm not looking as orangey now. I think it's looking a bit better. It's not blending out very well, so I'm going to use my beauty blender just to blend it out a bit more. I always use Maybelline, and I never have problems with the Maybelline foundation blending out, or the Maybelline concealer. I always use that as well. If you check in my other videos, I use a lot of the Maybelline. I've never had problems with them blending out, as well as the Benefit. I know the Benefit is a bit more expensive than the others and this one, but I've never had a problem with them blending out. And with this one now, I am having problems with blending. I do feel like it's emphasizing the texture on my cheeks and on my face a lot. So I don't have any setting powder from Sleek, and I don't have any bronzer from Sleek. So I'm just going to go in and start applying blush and all that. The blush is the rose gold blush. There we go. So this is the Sleek Rose Gold blush. This is meant to be a dupe for the NARS Orgasm Glow. So I'm just going to apply it to my cheeks. So the first time I found that this wasn't really applying anything, so I went in with a hand the second time of really digging it into the powder. But then as well, really digging it into the powder, there's highlight in this as well. So it kicked up a lot of highlight as well. It adds a nice glow, but I feel like the highlight is adding texture again to my cheeks. Okay. So after blush, I'm going to do a highlight. So for highlight, I have this highlight palette. A lot of the products I bought reduced in Sam McCauley's. Sam McCauley's often have things reduced in there, so I obviously keep an eye out on Sam McCauley's. So here is the highlight palette. You got a lot of different shades. So there's creams and powders in this palette. So I think I might try a bit of everything from the cream. So the purple, the green, this purple, and this one up here, they're all creams. So I put all three together. It's adding a nice glow actually. I do think this is like having like a really nice glow. Yeah, it looks really nice. I don't have anything bad to say about that. It is quite nice. I'm going to apply the powders on top now as well to see what kind of effect that gives as well. I wasn't expecting that to be that good actually, because so far I'm not really enjoying anything from this line so far. So I have powder on the brush and I'm just applying that on top. Oh, that's really nice. It might be a bit too much, but I don't mind. I quite like that. And I'm just tapping it on rather than rubbing it on. But you can also rub it on. I'm just tapping. I do think that is a really nice highlight. That's actually adding a really nice glow. There we go. I think this highlight palette is around €13, and I bought it at half price for about £7. So it's not a bad price. It's not a bad highlight palette. The shades in it are called Anodiaz, Beam, Sweet Delusion, Refracted, and Blurred Lights. I do have this, it's meant to be an eyeshadow. When I used it as a eyeshadow, I found it didn't work very well. But you can also use it as a highlight. So I'm going to apply more highlight. I do quite like that highlight. So that's an eyeshadow called Exposed, and there it is, and that added really nicely on top. So now the next step is, I think it's eyeshadow is next, as well as brows. and then I'll be doing lips. So for eyeshadows, I have this Eyebrow eyeshadow palette, and it's called Oh So Special, and it's number 658. I have used this eyeshadow palette a few times, and mostly because I like these two glitter shades down here, which you can see I've used a lot, and they're actually really good glitter shades is what I found. So I'm going to do use some chocolatey browns over here into the crease just here, and then I'm going to use those pink shades that I always use. Going to put it on my makeup brush in front of me so I can see what I want to use. Okay, so I'm going to start off with a fluffy brush, and this is the Spectrum brush in B06. So I'm just going to go into this light brown shade here and put that all over the crease just as a base. And I quite like that actually colour. Sometimes I would just use my bronzer in my crease and then apply the pink shadows. And if I didn't want to do anything more, I could just use this brown shade all over my eye and just apply the pinks. But I'm gonna do a bit more. Okay. So I'm going to go into the dark brown shade here, and I'm just going to stamp that on the outer corner. These eyeshadows definitely, they're not bad. There is pigment showing up. So now I'm just going to take a different brush and just blend that out. So I'm just going to blend out the dark shade that I just put on, blend it up into the light brown shade that I put on. That definitely is becoming patchy when blending it. Okay, so I'm just going to go over to this side and try and blend that out. Again, it's becoming patchy. I'm just going to go back into this brush that I had the brown on and try and stamp it on again. Okay, so I'm just going to blend that again. Oh, sorry, I forgot to mention I went in with a brush with nothing on it just to blend it out. And I have found that it's a bit patchy trying to blend it out. Okay, so now I'm going to go into the shade the pink shade. I think I might just do both of them that I always use, this one and this one. I will also go off to spray my brush because I always spray it when using these. Okay, so now I'm just going to add that in here. And you can see how much of an impact that is making. They're really good quality eyeshadows. I think one is powder and one is a cream. Okay, I'm just gonna go. Yeah, one's a cream, one's a powder. But I do think they match each other really well and add quite an impact. So I'm just going to apply it over this side. So this time I'm going to go back in with just the cream shade and just apply that on top. I do really like that shade. It has like a really nice sheen to it. So now underneath my eye, I'm just going to take that light brown shade again and just apply that underneath my eye. I think I might take a smaller brush for this. So I'm just applying the lightest shade under my eye, and then I'm going to go back in with the brush that had the darkest colour and just blend that underneath my eye and blend it up through the corner. Just make sure everything's blended and everything's matching. Okay. So one more thing that I'm going to do to my eyes is I'm going to take this glitter eyeliner, and you don't have to just use glitter eyeliner as eyeliner. You can also hang on, I have to try and figure out how to open this. But you can also use glitter eyeliner as sparkles for your eye, all over your eye. So I'm just gonna take that and apply it all over my eye. Actually, what I might do is apply it on the back of my hand, take my finger, wipe it off, stamp it on. Even though I don't think that's going to work either. I do think that added a bit of glitter actually to my eye, so it's not too intense, so you can't see it very much, but it does add a difference to the both eyes. So now I think you can see it on both eyes, the glitter, and it definitely does make a difference. And the glitter isn't too much of an impact, but it just adds a little something to it. So now I'm going to do my brows. Okay, so I have a this one, or I have here we go, a crayon which says powder brow. I usually prefer these ones. This one, don't know if it's the right shade for me. I can always just apply this first and go in with this one after. So I'm just going to brush them up. Okay, so now I'm just going to start applying it. It's actually not a bad shade for my brows. Yeah, it's not a bad shade. It's going to take a while though, compared to if I use the other one, which I'm more used to using. I'm just going to apply this over it to see what I think of this one. I don't actually think this one is the right shade for me. So I think I might actually stop using this one. I might just comb that out. So that actually easily came off by just wiping it off. Yeah, this pencil actually suits the colour much better than the crayon. If I'm honest, I was actually finding the crayon too long to build up. So I'm going to go over and do this side now. So I'm just going to go ahead and do the same to this side. Okay, so that's it for brows. I definitely prefer this brow pencil over the crayon brow. So the next thing that I'm going to use is I'm going to put on just clear brow gel. in 2 sets. Now to try and find the clear brow gel. Here it is. Just to set all that in place. I do think on this one where I tested the other one, you can see a bit of brown coming through on it, so it doesn't really match fairly well. Again, it went a bit heavy there as well on the pencil. Okay, so that's fine. The next thing is mascara. So I'm just going to apply my mascara now. This is the Eye Conditioned Mascara. So now I'm just going to apply this. Okay, so that's this side done and nothing on this side. It didn't add too much to my lashes, it just kind of coated them. If you want something to add length and volume, that's definitely not this mascara. It doesn't really do too much to them for lengthening really, it just kind of lets you know that they're there, but it doesn't do anything major for them. So I'm just going to do this side. I'm not having a good time with mascara lately. I keep poking myself in the eye with it. I've definitely made a mess with mascara with this side, but it's okay. We'll continue. So I don't think that mascara does anything amazing really. It just kind of coats them, but I don't feel like it's done anything